Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to show you how to get this big old bandsaw blade onto our Wood Mizer LT70. I stood inside of it just to give you a representation. These are huge. So hang on, come right back and we'll talk about it. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about the changing of an LT70 bandsaw blade versus what we've been used to with our LT35. It's very similar, but very different in some things. But it's still a bandsaw blade. It's got to be tensioned correctly, and it goes around and around. Now, let's start on this LT70. It's still tight. We're taking the blade off because it was having some shattering in the last big slabs we was cutting, which is fine because we were cutting them oversized, knowing we were going to cut them again. But we're getting ready to cut some dimensional lumber, and I don't want that. I want a good laser straight cut. So on these 50s, 70s, I'm not sure, maybe even the 40s now, they have an airbag with hydraulic over an airbag. And the way that works is this airbag needs to have 85 pounds of air pressure in it with no tension. And then to make it real simple, you just use your pump to pump it up to 95 pounds. And I can see it from there and see if my poundage starts to drop a little bit. If you get a blade hot or if it starts to stretch a little bit, it's new, you might lose a pound or two. You need to come over here and just tighten it up a little bit. But right now it's setting properly tensioned, and we're going to drop this valve. Takes your hydraulic pressure off. Okay, and now we've learned the hard way to get a blade on and off. The best thing to do is come over here and shove it all the way in. Now you can read our tension on the airbag with just air pressure. Should be around 85 pounds. That's all you got to do on this side. When you get ready to tighten it back up, tighten the valve and tension it. Okay, on this side of the machine, of course, you got to open the doors first thing. Now, on the 70, it has a flap here that our 35 never had to exit the blade. I can change the blade by myself, but it is much easier with this size blade to have help. So what we'll do first is we'll pop it out of the top just a little bit, reach down here, pull it out of the high-speed blade guides, and there's our blade. Let me lay it over here out of the way. Hang on. Now, what Matthew's doing, he's putting this little note on here that this blade wasn't cutting good. It was leaving some tiger stripes. So when we take it over to sharpen and set, we'll have to unset it and find those teeth that are out of whack and reset it. So there's that one. I'll go ahead and grab a blade while I'm over here. Take the zip tie off yet. Zip tie. There's our next sharp band. Now, before we put that on, there's a couple maintenance things we want to do. We'll pull these drive belts off, and they will get caked up with schmutz. And most of the time, especially on the drive side, it'll feel sandy. Now the driven side is not too bad. Just a light scrape to clean them up. I normally do it while it's on the wheel over there. It's easier. but let's see that one, Matthew. Here's the driven side, or drive side. You can see it's a little more. As well as you want to check the inside of it, make sure you don't have any buildup on the inside. I do it every blade change, clearing the little belts up before we put them back on there. Gets rid of all that sawdust and pine. Especially when you're sawing pine, it'll feel like little pieces of gravel stuck to your belt. Yep, it'll change your tension. So that's ready to go. Put that back on. Now, one of the big things this mill has that our 35 didn't is what's called a high-speed blade guide, and these are adjustable. I got some feeler gauges. I think it was it 8 or 10 thousandths on both sides, and that blade will ride right in there, and it keeps the blade from dipping. This is your lube miser. It'll spray a little bit on top, a little bit on the bottom. Good time to check your bearings. Make sure they're good and tight, not making any noise.
If you have a vacuum system, it's a good time to reach in here and clean it out. If you've done what Wood Mizer does not recommend doing.
Yeah, the fingers are missing inside that one. Here's your other high-speed blade guide, and check the roller. Feels good. Matthew's cleaned this belt. It's not a good idea to look at your main drive belt here. Other than that, you know, it's pretty much like a 35, 40, just bigger. Now, this is not one of the most dangerous things we do at the mill, but it is the easiest thing we do to cut yourself. Yeah. With a nice new blade or a nice resharp blade, you can open up a cut in a hurry. Now we're gonna do it in just the reverse. We're gonna set the bottom in here. Won't worry about putting in blade guides. Once we get it here, we'll stuff the top in, then we'll come back and try to. This is where two people's handy, because I got to get it in this blade guide, and he's got to get it in that one at the same time. There we go.
Good here.
There we go. Just a little fiddly. They recommend on a 35-40 with an 1.25 blade, about an 1/8 inch of the gullet be sticking forward of the flywheel. On these, they recommend 3/16 because we're running an 1.5 inch blade. Now, that's not 3/16 the tooth, that's 3/16 of the bottom of the gullet. And we try to set it right about there before we put tension on it. Make sure close her flap. Close both doors. And we'll go over here and we'll tension it.
All right, we gotta tighten this valve back up so we keep pressure.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We found somewhere between 7 and 8 strokes you need to stop and check your tension. Put about 1/4 one on it. There you go. And that's all there is to it. She's tensioned back up. It's not a hard process, but it is a lot bigger than what we're used to with the 35. I could, even with a 35, it's a whole lot easier with 2 people, but I could swap one by myself, no problem. I normally did it from that side of the mill. This one, I've done a few by myself. It's doable. It's a little aggravating because it's so wide. It's hard to reach both ends at the same time, but you can manage. Normally we can swap one out in what, a couple minutes.
If that.
A couple minutes cleaning the belts, put it back on, we're back up and running.
We've had people watch us do it and say we're a NASCAR pit crew.
Yeah, that's why I get a lot of people, I post videos of us hitting nails and screws and bolts and crap like that, and they're like, well, why don't you run a metal detector? I can't afford the time it takes to run a metal detector, guys. We're not hobby sawing, we're production sawing, but there again, we're not a production mill like a true big industrial sawmill that's got tens of millions of dollars in equipment and have a dedicated station that every log goes through and metal detects. We got one down probably 3-4 miles from here, and they say they got a mountain of logs laying out back. that when it goes through there and it detects metal, it just kicks them out. Well, most of the time we're sawing our wood, our customer wood, and the wood has enough value most of the time to where if we foobar a blade, the wood will pay for it. And if we doing customer wood, they're going to pay for it. So I don't see the dollar and cents time benefit of having me or Matthew sit out here for 3 to 5 minutes on every log with a metal detector.
We're gonna saw it anyway.
Because if we find metal in it, we still need to saw it. You know, that's the thing. We still need to saw it. It's no fun. It stinks. Matthew can show you our pile out there of broken blades. We've got a pile of them, and it's just cost of doing business. Blades are expensive, but I try to tell people, this is your business, sawing quality wood. If you can't afford to buy blades, get out of the business. You're in the wrong business. Since we bought this 70, I've spent $2,400 on blades already because we had no inventory. We sold all our 35 blades with the machine. They all left. So, we're bumping our inventory up. We got 3 boxes open that we're working through. I got 3 more boxes new sitting on the wall from Joe Maine. Thank you, buddy. I'll be ordering some more soon. I don't mind switching blades. If I we put this blade on right here, and the first cut we make, it cuts bad, that sucker's coming off. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to cut quality wood or try to cut quality wood with a blade that's cutting bad. It will come off. And, don't get your panties a bunch. I've done it many times. Put a brand new blade on, hit a nail. Put a brand new blade on, hit a rock. Put a brand new resharp on, and it don't cut right. Take it back off, put another one on, cut quality wood. Blades are cheap. These blades, depending if they're on sale or not, are in the high 30s to $42 a piece, time you pay tax and shipping. Luckily they got free shipping right now. Call Joe. If you use that blade once and throw it away, it's a $40 blade. If I resharpen that blade and use it again, it's a $20 blade. If I resharpen it and use it again, it's what? A $10 blade or less than that. You see the cumulative effect. If we can use these 3 to 5 times, the cost is negligible. Now, if you only use them once and throw them away, they're kind of expensive. But as long as you can get 3 to 4 resharpenings, and we resharpen our own, so the cost is minimum other than buying the CBN cutters. They're kind of expensive, and a bucket of oil twice a year. Time's the biggest factor we have, is having to stop sawing to go sharpen blades. If we have a nasty rainy day and the yard gets muddy, that's a good day to go sharpen blades. But that's it on this. It's pretty simple, but I've not seen a review dedicated just to how to change and tension a blade on an LT70. And this holds true, I know, for 50s. They're exact same setup. But when it comes to blades, guys, don't skimp. Buy the best blades you can afford. I like the double hard blades. I know the silver tips are cheaper, but I want to get at least 3 uses out of this blade. The 35, I know we was getting up to upwards of 10 resharpening our own.
And we'd just have to break them because they wouldn't set.
Yeah, after about 8 or 10 sets on the LT35s, it get to where when you tried to set it, the metal had work hardened and it wouldn't hold a good set, and you couldn't get them to saw great. So we ended up breaking them a lot once we got up into that 8, 9, 10 resharps, just because of that. But 2 or 3, 4, you shouldn't have any trouble with work hardened unless you're running them too long, dull, and getting them hot. I always recommended 300 to 500 board feet on a 35. On this 70, I seem to be running a little longer. I'm running 700 to 1,000 board feet. That's not because the blade's staying sharper. It's because I got more horsepower and it's pulling the duller blade through there adequately. But still, that 300 to 500 range is where you want to take it off. You want to take it off and it still feels sharp. If you take it off and it feels dull, and you hadn't hit nothing that you know of, you run it way too long, you're getting too much heat in it, and you're work hardening the metal, and your resharps are going to really go down, the number of times that you can resharpen that blade. So, anything you want to add to this, Matthew?
Not really.
I'll tell you the secret to resharpening. It's very easy.
Have somebody else do it for you.
Hire your Matthew. Yeah, that's my trick to resharpening. Hire your Matthew. We're working on something as far as setting. If any of you guys got any suggestions
For an unsetter.
for an unsetter, and why Wood Mizer don't sell one, I don't know. But when you get a blade that all your teeth are nice and straight, you sharpen it, and you know they're supposed to be around 25, 27 thousandths, you know, on your layout, and you sharpen them down, and now they're 23, 22. It's real easy to push them out. But when you get one that's got kicked out, it's 40, 45, you've got to get that blade kicked back in to line so that you can set it back out to the proper number. And nobody makes a commercial unsetter. I'm looking at something like a rolling mill, 2 big bearings, something that you can put that blade in there, and it takes a lot of tension, guys. I mean, I built something and it wasn't big enough, wasn't heavy enough, and I couldn't clamp enough tension on it to where when you roll that blade around there, every one of them teeth go whoop, they move back in. They don't have to move back into 0, but they need to move back into at least 20 thousandths or less, so that when you go back around your setter, you can properly bend them out and get set right. So if any of you guys have got an idea on that, let me know. It'd be a good thing to make and patent, because you know Wood Mizer's gotten out of the sharpening business, so there's hundreds if not thousands of guys around the country with setters, sharpeners and setters like I have, and you need a way to get that blade back to a known number to where you can set it properly. Now let's look at our pile of money laying out here. We gotta get them cleaned up, and there's more over yonder. A blade, when it reaches the end of its life, or if we hit something and rip a bunch of teeth off, we'll just break it and lay it out here in the pile. I try to give it away, and nobody will come and get it, so it'll go to the metal yard one day. But this is the easiest way to dispose of them. Go ahead and break them, lay them flat. They don't take up a lot of space. Just don't let the grandkids run through it. They'll have a bad day. But there's a pile of money represented there in broken blades. But those broken blades helped us make a pile of money, so don't worry about it. It's just cost. It's like putting fuel in your tractor or fuel in your mill. It's just cost doing business. Don't skimp on your blades. I think that's it for this, guys. I hope you found it helpful. As always, big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Couldn't do it without them, guys. If you get a chance, check out Solomon's channel, Third Bearded Fishing. As always, Wood Mizer, Joe Maine, you hear us talk about him a lot. We advertise for Joe Maine because we like him. He's a good asset to our business. I can pick up the phone right now. If he's not in the meeting, he'll call me or he'll text me and say, I'll call you in a minute. If you need anything from Wood Mizer, blades, parts, looking at new equipment, give him a call. If it's out of his wheelhouse, he'll give you a name and number of somebody at Wood Mizer that's their expertise and they can help you out. So that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you watching. If you would, like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.